Hi, this is Jason, and today we're going to look at a budget-friendly device that has a lot of flagship-like aspects. All right, we talk about Xiaomi, we talk about Samsung, we talk about Apple, the flagship makers, the companies that make the cream of the crop with mobile gaming and mobile phones and tablets. But Xiaomi has a subsidy called Poco, and if you look at my videos, I did a video on the new flagship killer, the F7 Ultra, as well as the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, and even their Xiaomi Watch S4. But Poco also released a Poco Pad. It's a tablet that was released about the middle of last year, about this time last year, but it was kind of under the radar. It's a 12.1 inch LCD display. It does do, it's got adaptive sync refresh rate, so it does 30, 48, 50, 60, 90 to 100, so basically 120 hertz. It has a 16:10 aspect ratio and a maximum of 600 nits of brightness. 12-bit color depth. It does kind of lack in the power though. This only has a Snapdragon 7S Gen 2 mobile processor with an octa-core processor in it. It comes with 8 gigabytes of LPDDR4X and UFS 2.2 of 256. So it's a little bit slower. Does have a micro SD slot, so you could technically add a little bit more storage, but it's, again, this is more of a budget-friendly device. It's not going to be a powerhouse, but I think if you're doing media, doing light gaming, I think this would be a perfect device for you. The rear's got an 8 megapixel camera. The front's got an 8 megapixel camera. It's got a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. It supports 33 watts of fast charging via Type-C cable. It's got Xiaomi HyperOS. I believe this has Android 14. I may be upgraded to 15. We'll have to check and see once I get it up and running. It does support Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 5. It's got quad speakers. It supports a Smart Pen as well. I don't have that, but it does support a stylus or Smart Pen. It's got a large screen. It's here, 12.1, 120 hertz, 2.5K display, 7S, Gen 2, 10,000, all this stuff. So I'm hoping that this will get upgraded to Android 15. Being a budget device and being from Xiaomi, I don't know. Xiaomi is pretty good about supporting that, but in the box you get a cable for charging, and for some reason you get a SIM ejection tool, probably for the micro SD card slot, so you can get a micro SD card in there, and I think that's all you get. I don't see, there's no charger in this box either, but again, these start at around $250 US, so it's a pretty cheap device depending on where you go. But like I said, it's not the the typical Poco branding there, yellow and black or black and yellow like the song. This is the device. So what I'm going to do is, these aren't very satisfying because it's like a fabric, but I like the way these are soft and they don't scratch. So I'm going to leave it here to put this down on. So this is it's a big device. This is the Poco Pad. It has Poco branding right there in the corner. It's got there's your micro SD card slot and some microphones. It's got your volume button, power button. Does not have a fingerprint sensor, so if that's a deal breaker for you, you might be out of luck with this. I'm sure if you look online, AliExpress here in the US, you're going to have to look somewhere like that to get a case for it. It may or may not support keyboards, but I don't know if anybody who is like interested in this kind of a device is really looking for something like that. It's probably more for like I can see getting a case that props it up so you can watch some Netflix, YouTube, do some social media surfing. I wouldn't say this would be something you want to do a lot of video editing on or picture editing, but light gaming, stuff like that, this might be perfect. But like I said, this is, like I said, the Xiaomi Poco Pad, which is like a budget device. But if you're looking for something that's just cheap enough to get you by and complement your current smartphone, with it's got Xiaomi HyperOS, there may be some integration with the Poco phone, Xiaomi phone, the watch. It might be part of their whole ecosystem. I'm not real familiar with the whole Xiaomi HyperOS ecosystem, but I'm obviously in it with the watch, the Poco, and the tablet. So we'll see how that goes. If you guys have any questions about this, you got to shoot them down in the comments below. If you want more information on this phone or this tablet, let me know. But looking around, you can see it's got, wow, an antiquated headphone jack, USB Type-C, 2 speakers on this side, 2 speakers on this side. It says Dolby Vision Atmos. It's got your power button on the back. It looks like you have their camera and a flash, and that camera is tiny, so it's probably not going to be the best you want for pictures. And then, like all tablets should, the camera in widescreen mode is right here at the top. Again, very tiny sensor. But like I said, hey, it's cheap. It does what you need. It's all you need. This is the Poco Pad. This is Jason with Tech. Thanks for watching.